All right, shalom, shalom, Akim. Before we begin this lesson, we're going to start off by giving our glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Hashem,
Bahashem,
Yahushai,
Yahweh Shai,
Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Rahakodash.
Rahakadash.
Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. Shalom to the whole full elect. Shalom. So today's lesson is going to be about how Esau, Edom, the so-called white man or the so-called white race, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Okay, so we're going to jump right into it. We're going to start with John chapter 8 and verse 44.
All right, we got John chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are ye fathers, the devil.
Right, saying ye are of your father, the devil. Let's get that word devil. We're going to go into the blue letter real quick. Here we go. That's G1228. Bear with us, we're having a little technical difficulties, but there you go. Now y'all can see it right there. You know, it isn't a coincidence when we talk about Esau being the devil, all right? His technology just starts bugging out all of a sudden, you see? We're going to get this video out, Lord willing, all right? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, we'll bring it out, all right? This is the word diabolos. Now, you won't be able to hear it on the computer right now because I'm still having problems with that audio, but I'll show you off my phone.
Strong's G1228. Diabolos. Diabolos.
Right, diabolos, right? That's the Greek word for devil. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and go down to the definition right here. It means prone to slander. Okay. The word slander, let's get it. The action or crime of making a false spoken statement damaging to a person's reputation, compared with libel. Right? Slander is accusing falsely, which that's why the scriptures talk about how the accuser of our brethren will be cast down. The one who accused us before the Heavenly Father day and night, roughly paraphrasing. Right? So these elite international banking families of Esau, Edom, you got the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and all them. Okay, they pray to the Heavenly Father and say, "Oh, look at your people. Look at what they're doing. You know, they're doing all the crime. They're doing this. They're doing that." Right? Because Esau thinks he's gonna get his birthright back, but it's not gonna happen. All right. That's why he's always falsely accusing our people. Which I made a video about how. You know, yesterday there was a Jake who got stopped by the police twice. 2 different police departments were conspiring to throw him in prison. Okay. And, you know, I went into it how, you know, our people, the Israelites, are exonerated at a higher rate because our people are accused falsely at a higher rate. By who? By Esau, Edom, man. They're the ones who control this police departments and the court system and all that. That's why our people are hid away in prison houses, as the scriptures say. Okay, a calumniator. Let's get this word calumniator. Okay, make false and defamatory statements about. Right, dragging our name through the mud. That's why when you think of Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you think of the bottom of society. You think of ghetto hoodlums. Okay, because that's where our people are. And, you know, you could walk around certain Edomites and they look at you all scared like you're going to do something to them. Okay, or they look at you and put their nose up in the air. You see? All right, false accuser, slanderer. And then look at this. Metaphor applied to a man. Okay, so for those of you that are new to this truth, you know, in the Christian church, they compare the devil to a red goblin with horns sticking out of his head and freaking, you know, this big ugly face, all right, and red skin and all that. Well, that's the one thing they got right, is that red skin. But yeah, man, it's not a freaking alien-looking monster with horns. It's actually a man, okay? And that man is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, okay? It says, apply to a man who, by opposing the cause of the Most High, may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him, okay? So it's talking about a man, okay? Because there is a spiritual demon, Satan, but the physical manifestation of that is these so-called white people on the earth, okay? They're the ones committing the most vilest acts, okay? And they're the ones who are in direct opposition with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and his people.
Okay. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
God, this devil Esau Edom is a liar and the father of it, man. Okay, and you know, Yahushua in this verse was speaking to certain Jews who were coming in the spirit of Esau. Okay, which a lot of our people nowadays do tend to do that. All right. Could you read that one more time, Baba Kushah, from the top, from the beginning of verse 44?
God.
Yeah, because this is you know, it's a good verse that talks about how these people are, man, these Edomites, man.
God. John chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are your fathers, the devil, and the lust of the father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth.
He was a murderer from the beginning. So that's going back to the story of Cain and Abel. Okay, if you can receive it, Abel was Jacob in reincarnation, and Cain was Esau in the reincarnation, man. So, you know, that's where he murdered his brother Abel, righteous Abel. Okay, and what is Esau doing today? He's murdering Jacob, man. You see, he's a murderer from the beginning. Okay, you can look back to the time of slavery and see how he slaughtered our people. Okay, look at how he slaughters them today. All right, we're in the worst, the most low income homes, falling apart, working the worst jobs. All right, and that's even if you can get a job with Esau, because you know he'll just throw away your application. Okay. Yeah, let's keep going there.
And abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him.
Right, there's no truth in him. Right, that's why we tell you Israelites not to trust your enemy. Right, which Esau is our enemy. Okay, y'all can remember back in 2020 when he targeted our people for the jump shot mandates and try to convince our people that we need to do it because you know we're too hesitant, we're too fearful about it. We need to just take it for our own good, for our own health. All right, you see how many people passed away from it, man. I know 2 people that took it, that jump shot during the C-19 emergency, and they no longer here, man. They died mysteriously, right? So, yeah, man, he's a liar, and yep, it says because there's no truth in him. And go ahead and keep going on that.
When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
Right. So how do you know an Edomite's lying? They moving their lips. Plain and simple, man. So now we're going to go to Psalms 83. And it's going to talk about how these Edomites are our enemies. Right? And not just them, but these other nations. All right. We're going to start at Psalms 83 and verse 1.
All right. Psalms 83, verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they have hate thee, and have lifted up the head.
Right. So our enemies, or Salakia here it says, thine enemies speaking to the Lord. So the Lord's enemies have made a tumult, which means a loud noise, a loud sound. and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Okay, so we're going to keep reading. It's going to tell us who hates the Lord. Go ahead.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and counseled against thy hidden ones.
Right,
They
so
have
we counsel, meaning they got together and they made a plan, okay, against the Lord's people who are the Israelites, Yasharallah, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay. It says, right, against the hidden ones, which that's the Israelites, okay.
they have said, come and let's cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Right, because what they did is they basically keeping this thing a secret that we are the actual true Israelites, we so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Okay, that's another reason why they gave us bywords. Okay, they call us Latinos, they call us black, right? Which that's a color. You see, they call you Indians, you Native Americans. They call you Indians. You see, they got all these different bywords for our people. Okay, and you notice in school the history stops at slavery. It doesn't tell you who you were before that. Okay, because this is a very well kept secret, right? Because that last part of the verse says that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, right? How many Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans know that they're Israelites? You see, I mean, definitely much more now because we're bringing out this truth. But there was a time where almost none of us knew, man. All right, and they all together in this conspiracy. Okay, um, yeah, let's keep going on that.
For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
So all these different nations are together, okay, against Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and against the Israelites, okay, our people. And it's going to tell you who they are in the next verse.
The tabernacles of Edom,
Tabernacles of
and
who's at the top of the list. You see, these called white people, the same people that rule the earth today in wickedness. Okay, you got the American Empire. You could read back in history, and you could read about the Roman Empire, the Greek Empire. You see, so these Edomites have been ruling for some time. Okay, and notice they are at the top of the list because they are the worst of all the nations. They are the most wicked, and they are the ones who are, you know, ruling right now. Also, okay.
the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarians.
Right. So these are just some of the other nations that are together with Esau. Ishmael's the Arabs, Moab, the Chinese. All right. Hagarenes is also part of Ishmael. Okay. And yeah, let's go on to verse 7, Baba Shah.
Jebah, and Ammon, and Amalek, and the Philistines, with the inheritance and the inhabitants of Tyre.
Khan. So you got Jebal, Ammon, right? Ammon being the Japanese, Amalek being the fake JEWs, which we made a video about them. All right. That's the chief tribe of Esau. The Philippines and the inhabitants of Tyre is the Africans, the native Africans, right? And then verse 8. Con, you can read the next verse out.
Asar also is joined with them. They have Hopelin, the
Con,
children of Lot.
con.
It's the
Yeah,
Lot.
con. Yeah, sure, just the Assyrians, okay? And children of Lot, and that's Chinese and Japanese. But again, you see there's a whole list of all these nations, and you know these are very powerful nations. It's spearheaded by Edom, as we saw in verse 6. Okay, so not only the other nations are against us, but Esau is the ringleader. Okay, he's a liar, like we read about in John 8. The word devil means deceiver, liar, false accuser. Okay, and he lied about a lot of things. Number one thing is that we are the Israelites. All right, they say they're the Israelites. That's where you get this picture of fake Jesus. All right, white Jesus. All right, because the scriptures tell us he's a dark-skinned man, a so-called black man, but they paint it as a white man. You see. And for those of you out there that say his color don't matter, if it don't matter, then why did you change it? You see, clearly it mattered to you so-called white people so much that you changed it and made it in your image. You see? And what else did he lie about? Let's go into history a little bit. I'm going to bring up an article here. Okay. This is an article. It says the big lie of slavery. It says the slave trade was the worst human inflicted atrocity ever. All right, and I'm gonna let it load real quick so y'all can see it. Okay, we got a depiction here of what the so-called Negroes had to go through during the time of the transatlantic slave trade, which, that was mainly Esau, Edom, but he got a little bit of help from the Arabs and the so-called and the Africans, but let's go into it. It says, it's been repeated so many times that we accept as historical fact that about 15 million Africans died in the transatlantic slave trade over a period of 250 years. Okay, and that's another lie that they tell you to cover it up. They were Israelites, they call you Africans. Why? Because they found us in Africa. That doesn't mean you're African, right? If I'm over there in Canada, meeting up with somebody and the police put me in jail, they're like, okay, so this Canadian man, no, I'm not Canadian. I was just there. You see? But yeah, that's one of the lies, is saying that we're Africans. Nevertheless, we'll keep reading. It says 15 million Africans died in the transatlantic slave trade over a period of 250 years. This figure is reported by everyone from the United Nations to African studies departments at major universities. I learned this figure in Black Studies courses in college and have repeated it on my own writing. It turned out to be a lie. The death toll was closer to 50 to 60 million. You see, so 50 to 60 million so-called African Americans died in the transatlantic slave trade. Okay, much higher than the number that we read up here. Again, proving that Esau, Edom is a liar. And this isn't the first time I heard this. I've heard this in other sources. All right. Now that's the so-called Negroid tribes. Now, what about the indigenous tribes? They tell you in history class that the indigenous tribes, Christopher Columbus came over and made some treaties with them, and that was it. Okay. But no, as the brother Ratazan was telling me earlier, it is a bloodbath, man. Okay. And we're going to read about it. This is Wikipedia. It says population history of the indigenous peoples of the Americas. Okay. We're going to scroll down. We're just going to get to the point. It says historian David Stannard estimates that the extermination of indigenous peoples took the lives of 100 million people. 100 million. You see, the total extermination of many American Indian peoples and the near extermination of others in numbers that eventually totaled close to 100 million. A 2019 study estimates the pre-Columbian indigenous population contained more than 60 million people, but dropped to 6 million by 1600 based on a drop in atmospheric CO2 during that period. Other studies have disputed this conclusion. Damn, that's crazy. So there was less air, less carbon dioxide in the air. That's how many of our people died, man. All right. And now we're going to compare that with what these so-called white people say is a bad time. Okay. I can't read this word because the video will get taken down, but y'all can see it right here. It starts with an H and it ends with a T. And they cry about it in history class all the time because they say, I would just read it. The phrase "never forget" is a powerful reminder of that word a genocide that resulted in the systemic murder of 6 million. Okay, 6 million white people, right? The people they call Jews, is they talking about the so-called white people, the people that they call JEWs. Okay, 6 million of them died. Now compare that with our people, man. 100 million and 60 million, right? 160 million. Not to mention the slavery and all the things we go through now. And they say never forget for their people. But what about our people? They say get over it. You ain't gonna get a handout. They say you need to pull yourself up by the bootstrap. They say our people complain we're lazy. Blah blah blah. See? So yeah, man, these so-called white people, their spirit is not upright that is in them. They're the devil. They're the false accusers. Because look, they did all these murders, but they call our people the worst. Who's really the worst? You see? And of course, all the other examples we gave. So with that, we're going to go to the book of John, and we're going to read chapter 10, verse 10.
All right, John chapter 10, verse 10. The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I
So they
am
stole what? They stole the land. They stole our heritage. Okay? They stole our people, right? And put them in.
gone,
You can hear me?
gone.
Con. Perfect. Yeah. So yeah, we'll continue where we left off. You can read it from the top. John 10 and 10 is cool.
The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have more abundantly.
Right. So that's why Yahweh Shai came to save us from this devil. Okay. To give us life more abundant. Okay. Because a lot of you Israelites, we don't live abundant. None of us live abundantly, man. Okay. A lot of us are stuck in hoods. All right. Some of us are stuck in low income housing. All right. And even those of us that made it out of the hood, you still got to deal with Esau's bullshit. All right. Your woman is out of order. And what does Esau do? He gives her the green light to destroy the family unit. All right. Some of you paying child support. Your children got to be raised up by the government, and the woman in the house who herself has issues. Okay. That's just a small fraction of the problems Esau, Edom has created for life. You can see how he's turning the world into a wilderness, dumping trash in the ocean, filling up all these landfills, okay, with toxic chemicals that gets into the water and the food. They spray in the air. Okay, ultimately, if this man was allowed to rule forever, life would go extinct as you know it, man. All right, this devil, all he knows how to do is steal, kill, and destroy. All right, so the ways of Yahweh Shai are life, and Yahweh Shai has come to save us from this devil. All right, and ultimately put us back on top as the true rulers of the earth in righteousness, right? Pushing forth the laws of Yahweh Shai worldwide. Okay, that's the beautiful future that's coming for us and for our people. Okay, but first, this devil, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, has to be done away with. Because the Lord hates them, man. They hate the Lord and they hate our people. And the Lord hates them. So we, Israelites, Yasharallah, we gotta hate these devils, man. There's no way to sugarcoat that, man. All right. We hate Esau, these so-called white people, because they're the devil. All right, and we're going to read a precept to that in Romans chapter 9, and we'll wait for the screen to pop up there. Romans chapter 9 and verse 13.
Romans chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, and Esau have I hated.
Right, so the Lord has loved Jacob, Yahweh, Yasharallah, Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, he loves us, man. Right, the promise was given to us. All right. But not to these devils, man. Esau, the Lord hates. You see? So for those of you saying, oh, the Lord ain't racist and this and that, yeah, the Lord hates these so-called white people because they're the devil. All right. And you know, hey, simple as that. So with that, we pray that this lesson was edifying. We're gonna give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Awashai,
Yahweh Shai,
Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Kakwadash.
Bahakadash.
Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth, and shalom to the whole full elect. Shalom.
Shalom.